It's Friday, August 17th, 2018. There's only 81 days left until the most important elections in U.S. history. We are the tip of the spear, attempting to alert the American people and the world to the threat of globalism and the all-out assault on Western civilization and America. Whatever you do, realize the globalists have made a miscalculation and are committed to shut down this transmission with every form of assault you can imagine, because they believe you're stupid and won't notice what's happening, that they can bring in their draconian Chinese communist-style censorship in America. But we are here exposing it. They are scared of this information because it is the answer to their corruption. Again, thank you so much for joining us on this Friday Global broadcast. Let me tell you what's coming up today, and then I'll get into all of it. The left, as I've told you for 20-plus years, is brainwashed to hate America and is trained by the high schools, the colleges, the mainline churches, the culture, that America is the ultimate evil in the world because the globalists want a one-world planetary government that controls America and other Western nations to enforce their planetary plan of absolute and complete domination. Now, that's known now. They tried to deny that any of that existed for decade after decade after decade while they built their world government. But once they had to emerge the world government, once they had to take it out of the shipyards and actually put it into the ocean, the world can now see the dreadnought, the corrupt battleship of tyranny, the aircraft carrier of lies that is the one world government planetary program. So all over the world, it's in big trouble because it's authoritarian, it's above the law, it is tax exempt, it is diplomatically immune, it is totally maniacal and anti-human. And as the public begins to learn about that and learn that it's anti-prosperity and anti-human, there's going to be a giant resistance that forms. They have decided to take me, build me up as this monster, and then use me as the first domino to fall to eradicate free speech in the West. That is all confirmed now. Law firms in D.C. have gone and looked at the statements by Democrats in Congress, their own secret reports, and have concurred that by next year, they plan to basically end the First Amendment in America. It's our job to raise the alarm bell that A, they're doing that, and that B, it's got to be stopped. So the first thing I'm going to cover when we come back in the next segment, it'll be the second thing I cover, I'm about to cover one big topic now that ties into this, is the fact that the Republicans don't understand what's happening. They've been manipulated. I'm not calling for government regulation of the internet. I'm not calling for regulation of these corporations. But it's already happened by fiat via the EU and its fines and regulations. Via these companies wanting to move to China, they're going under China's regulatory auspices, and they're unifying, without asking anybody, an unofficial global corporate charter of censorship and control. And then the Republicans sit back like a bunch of fools and go, well, we're not going to get involved in what companies do. They're private companies. You can't operate as a utility and then have rules that you only selectively enforce on nationalist, capitalist, middle-class patriots, pro-military, pro-Second Amendment people. And we all know that's what's going on. So this is false advertising, it's racketeering, it's monopoly practices when you have the top 6 companies all in the same day ban InfoWars, and then 20 other companies plus follow suit. That is called a monopoly combine, the very worst monopoly system where a group of monopolies work in concert. It's called a cartel. And so we're going to get the message out. And we've been putting this message out to the White House, to Congress, and it's one big reason we've been banned. But I'm willing to do it. I'm not going to play along with the systems. I'm not, I mean, there it is. Apple banned Alex Jones, and then the dominoes started to fall. I didn't even know they'd actually written an article using that term, but that's exactly what I've been calling it. It's the domino effect, and then they go, oh, hip, hip, hooray, take Alex Jones down. And a lot of conservatives go, well, they've built a straw man about him. They've demonized him. I'm not going to really defend him. And then you're next. And, of course, it's now happened. So this is extremely draconian. These big companies together represent over 90% of the internet. And so now they're saying we're not going to even let people advertise on our platforms. We're not going to let people even have bank accounts. Jihad Watch has had their MasterCard taken away they had for 20 years. Now, MasterCard says you can't bank, you can't live. Oh, it's just a private company. They are organizing, like tyrannies always do, to link up. It's the linking up of companies in a cartel to persecute groups that is totally illegal, that is the most dangerous expression of communism and fascism and authoritarianism. It is the telltale sign. Censorship, cartels linking together, trying to kick you out of the market. It is exactly what Adolf Hitler did. It's exactly what V.I. Lenin did. It's exactly what Mao Zedong did. It's exactly what Hugo Chavez did. It's exactly what Fidel Castro did. It's exactly what these regimes do. 100% it's what Mussolini did. Benito Mussolini. It is the blood, the guts, the bone, the brain, the skin, the hair, the arms, the everything of tyranny. It's it. We know what it looks like. We know what it acts like. We know how it behaves. We know what it is. So see, I've already kind of gotten into my whole argument that we must stop this now. By Congress not having any control over the internet, they have removed net neutrality. Now, again, Obama called it net neutrality. But what that was bringing in regulations so these companies could censor whoever they wanted and have liability protection. The Republicans said we're reversing that, but then they didn't put anything in its place, so then it became even more of a free-for-all. But again, it's global. America's only 325 million people. China's 1.5 billion. India's 1.1 billion. The EU's 350-something million. There's all these other places, and the EU's coming in with billion-dollar fines every few weeks against these companies to go under their regulations. They're not going to just create all these different regulations for different countries and regions. They're adopting the EU and Chinese model. They're building the Chinese censorship engines, and they're building them here, and they're just unifying it. So by Congress leaving this vacuum open, and by all of us sitting here like fools going, we're an open society, these are private companies, they can do what they want. The Democrats are now all over the news, banning all Republicans even talking about their campaigns or putting their campaign ads up on their Facebook or Twitter or YouTube.
All right, another conservative politician apparently targeted by Silicon Valley, this time a campaign ad for Republican congressional candidate Elizabeth Heng, depicting her family's history of living through communism in Cambodia, was blocked from Facebook and deemed offensive.
In Cambodia, under Pol Pot's Khmer Rouge, being young and single often meant a gruesome life and likely death.
But the Democrats can operate all they want. Antifa can say we're going to put bullets in Congress's heads and kill Trump and kill his family and kill talk show hosts. And I go, well, folks, you better have your battle rifles ready by your bed because they may actually attack your houses. It's already been happening. That turns into, I said, battle rifles for the media. And they don't show it, do they? Because they've gone next level fraud, folks. This shows they're going for broke. So there is a vacuum. There is a system of Congress asleep at the switch drooling. And the Googles and Facebooks and Apples of the world patting them on the back like they're complete morons while they adopt the EU and Chinese model and merge the censorship systems in standardization. And now they're saying, hell, if we win the House, we're going to go ahead with full internet takeover and total censorship. That's been out for weeks. And Senator Warner on Monday released more documents calling for it. I've got one of the top First Amendment law firms in the country, and they looked at it and they could not believe it. This is true tyranny. But are you thinking they're not going to just fill that vacuum? Whenever Governor Cuomo said America was never great, America's a piece of crap, and CNN agreed with him, that's coming up. They're telling you the truth. They are such in their echo chambers that they literally hate America. The majority of millennials want communism, but they've got $1,000 phones and $200 skinny jeans. These people mean business, and they're making their move right now. And they're shutting us down because we're ringing the alarm bells, because we're faithful Americans. We're faithful to the Republic. We're faithful to the free market. We're faithful to prosperity and what we know is a steady, strong course that made us the apple of the world's eye. We know we have been exceptional when we exercise the principles that made us great. We know we are the light on the hill to the world. And we know the enemies are trying to pull that down. Stay with us. We are the InfoWar.